What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with some more news. Join us now as we look at the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including Tony Khan begs WWE, The Rock still wants to become president, a wrestler is back in jail, and much more. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos, and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Now let's hit the intro and get straight into the first story. First story looks at Tony Khan begging WWE. AEW President Tony Khan has brokered some interesting partnerships with other promotions, including New Japan Pro Wrestling, AAA, and Impact. Now he's letting the WWE know they're welcome to work with him as well, and that there's room for everyone. Khan commented on this during an appearance on the Wrestling Fetish podcast.
They're more than welcome. As I said, the forbidden door is open anytime. Just come and knock, and if they were to knock on the door, then I would certainly be willing to let them in. Come in, please. I would love that. Come to Jacksonville. I'm begging you.
Khan stressed that things could go smoothly due to his business philosophy.
And also, to be honest, the biggest thing in relationships for me is I treat people really well, and I'm very honest with people. And that's why people like to come work here. And whether, it's AEW or Fulham or the Jaguars, generally people I've worked with have had. And I do think that sets us apart from some other wrestling companies. But in dealing with other wrestling companies, I try to treat them the same way.
With the WWE enjoying record profits, it seems unlikely Vince McMahon would feel the need for a collaboration with any major wrestling promotion. There's also the problem of two major promotions having to come to an agreement on who wins and who loses. Many an inter-promotional wrestling dream match have led to weak finishes such as a double countout or double disqualification. But could AEW and WWE find a way to book matches between their stars with conclusive finishes without either promotion feeling they were shortchanged? While anything can happen in the WWE, this seems as likely as Drake Maverick's WWE Championship run. Nevertheless, fans would lose their minds if the WWE and AEW ever booked a show featuring their wrestlers competing against and alongside each other. Do you think there's any chance of this happening in the near future? Let us know in the comments down below. Next up, President Rock. Now, fans who play WWE 2K20's My Career mode, well, probably two of you, know that the storyline set in the near future reveals that Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is president of the US. Could the much maligned game have provided fans with a glimpse into our own future? Well, that might be the case, as The Rock hasn't ruled out a run as US president. Speaking with US Today's Aaron Johnson about his new sitcom Young Rock, the most electrifying man stated that he's still mulling over the presidency. I would consider a presidential run in the future if that's what the people want. Truly, I mean that, and I'm not flippant in any way with my answer. That would be up to the people, so I would wait and I would listen. I would have my finger on the pulse, my ear to the ground. The Rock discussed running for president back in 2017, and it seems it's something that's still on his mind. The Rock wouldn't be the first movie star to run for office, as older fans recall Hollywood actor Ronald Reagan ran and won presidency in the 80s, serving as president for 2 terms. The Rock's immense popularity gives him a great launching point for a presidential campaign, but there are many other factors involved, including campaign fundraising, the willingness to broker deals with politicians, and other stressful situations that might be too much for him to want to deal with. Would you guys ever like to see The Rock in the Oval Office? Let us know in the comments down below. Next up, is MVP really hurt? Now, an update to our earlier report on the Hurt Business's MVP, who looked like he might have hurt his knee while competing on this week's edition of Raw. Now, Dave Meltzer and PW Insider are reporting that MVP was indeed hurt and may require surgery. Dave Meltzer noted MVP was helped to the back when the cameras weren't on, and that the Hurt Business's mouthpiece was seen with crutches during Raw talk. According to PW Insider's Mike Johnson, MVP was taken to Birmingham, Alabama to consult with a specialist. Wrestling News' Paul Davis then noted, when wrestlers travel to see the specialist, it usually means that surgery is needed, but that has not yet been confirmed by WWE. This of course is bad news for MVP, but also for the Hurt Business. Although the 47-year-old superstar still wrestles, his real talent has been leading the Hurt Business and acting as a group spokesperson. With any luck, MVP will be at least able to be at ringside and host his MVP Lounge Talk segment that has helped fuel storylines on Raw. Next up, Shane McMahon's next match. Could the WWE Universe be in store for a Shane McMahon match at WrestleMania 37? Well, Dave Meltzer seems to think so, and not only discussed the match, but Shane's opponent. During a recent Wrestling Observer Radio episode, Meltzer speculated on the recent friction between WWE Authority figure Adam Pearce and Braun Strowman over Strowman's exclusion from the upcoming Elimination Chamber match for the championship. You may recall that Strowman told Pearce that Shane needed to make things right, or else. Meltzer wondered, so does that mean that Braun and Shane is going to wrestle at WrestleMania? It could happen. Shane McMahon hasn't competed since losing a career versus career match against Kevin Owens in October of 2019. Now, Shane lacks passion for working matches as a human crash dummy, and Braun Strowman would make the perfect opponent for Shane to take sick bumps against. Would you guys like to see Shane battle Braun? Let us know in the comments down below. Next up, Vince's love for angering the fans. Wrestling fans have often wondered whether Vince McMahon is merely out of touch or whether he just loves to rile wrestling fans with his maniacal methods of booking the WWE. Now, one former superstar is claiming that Vinnie Mac intentionally does things to anger and confuse fans. During an episode of his podcast, The Kurt Angle Show, the WWE's Olympic hero disclosed Vince's reasoning and why it's not as bad as it sounds. Vince listens to the fans, he does. He's done things on purpose to tick the fans off, and I think he likes to get them riled up, but he has a psychology to it. It's not he always does something to bring the fans back. He clarified things further, saying, he loves the attention, he loves making noise, he loves doing big things, and he likes making it hard for the fans to understand and confuse everyone once in a while. Basically being frustrated as a fan. Sometimes it makes you want to watch even more to see if they change the stuff up. While the WWE's ratings might suggest otherwise, it's true. It's damn true that McMahon is known for some of the most off-the-wall booking decisions in history. It's one thing to upset fans with the purpose of bringing them back to see how things are resolved, but it's another to bury popular wrestlers on a whim. Next up, a wrestler in jail again. Now, for some fans, it may be difficult to keep up with Teddy Hart's extracurricular escapades, but thankfully the Twitter account Is Teddy Hart in Jail has us covered. According to the account and Wrestling Inc.'s Mark Middleton, Hart was arrested on 10th February. Hart seems to be in contention with the WWE Hall of Famer Sonny when it comes to the wrestler most likely to do hard time award. And finally, Carlito done with WWE. Now, it looks like the WWE Universe won't be seeing Carlito for some time. Carlito's Royal Rumble surprise appearance and subsequent appearance on Raw led to rumors that the second-generation superstar might be returning to the WWE on a regular basis. However, Carlito spoke on the What a Day with Joe Lowry show, suggesting WWE doesn't have a spot for him right now. However, Carlito added he's willing to see what the WWE might have down the road. Man, who knows, as of now, I'm open to whatever kind of ideas out there. Yeah, right now I'm on my own. If a great opportunity comes to go back to WWE, I'm open to whatever comes my way. Whatever great idea is out there, I'm willing to listen and see if I fit in there somehow. They may feel Carlito isn't worth hiring, or they could be waiting to cut the roster. A backstage job as a producer has been mentioned, but as of now, nothing appears to be on the table. But there you have it, folks, the wildest wrestling news stories and rumors you need to know. Be sure to leave your comments down below, subscribe if you haven't already, follow us on Instagram and Facebook for exclusive lists, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.